Have you ever had the question about what lies beyond the bedrock layer of Minecraft? Is it the nether? Maybe just a never-ending lifeless void. But what if there is life beyond? What if some twisted biological matter existed beyond it? And we never knew? Well, unfortunately the question was answered when I got trapped 2,000 blocks below the surface after mining drill operation failure. This is my survival logs number 1. After I came out of wreckage of what was left of the mining drill, I embraced the new world before me. I was stuck on a small part of the copper drill left at the end of the cliff. Luckily some of the supplies had survived for use. I scouted the plains in search of wood, only to find various weird creatures around me. Even a deformed one that looked like your mom, LOL. After getting ambushed by your mom, I decided that this place was too dangerous. And right then I discovered a missing part of a drill and decided to check there for any possible goodies. Through careful consideration, I decided to channel my inner bootleg Spider-Man and majestically make my way to the drill. After getting attacked by the local catfish population, I finally managed to get the remaining drill wreckage. My efforts were not in vain, as I was rewarded with wonderful goodies. Getting geared up, I decided to continue my journey to get some wood. Soon I realized that I was stranded in an ecological dead zone. The only thing I could do was sail through the weird oceans to find some wood, fighting more catfishes along the way. I finally found some land with possible trees. I greeted the residents of the island and hurriedly made my way to the trees. I went to the forest and collected some wiggler wood. Yes, that's what it's called, I'm not joking. After gathering all the wood, I finally managed to craft a crafting table and started researching various items I can use to survive. I crafted some tools and went on wood farming until I started hearing weird noises. Being the curious me, I decided to explore where they were coming from and stop the noises permanently, cause why not? That's when I knew I messed up and had my first ever death by the hands of a vile beast. I was stuck in sedimentary and had to use unethical means to get back out. Once I did, I was left naked and afraid all over again. I jumped into the ocean and recovered all my stuff. From this moment on, I knew I had to be careful. The creatures down here have grown way more stronger because of the increase in gravity and pressure. So I went on a grinding fest to craft weapons that could make the strongest of creatures tremble in fear. I fought monster on the way and decided to use the sedimentary rocks to create tools to help me, and eventually crafted a powerful weapon to face off against the hostile life down here. And so I went on a rampage, destroying every fiend I could find on my path. Nothing could stop me, but my body was still weak. I needed to protect it using armor. So I dug deeper to find material that can substitute iron. At the same time, I had one other problem. I needed food. My supplies were running out and most of the creatures down here are hardly eatable. That's when I hit the gold mine. I found berries that, though not nutritious, can definitely satisfy my hunger to a certain extent. And best of all, they are replenishable. After enough exploration, I had done it. I found a material that had the same durability and efficiency as iron. I could now finally survive without almost dying every time. This material was Clogg. Clogg for short. Though I couldn't make large weapons like halberd with it, I could still use it as armor and tools. When I thought I had seen everything in this weird place, that's when I saw it. The weird snoocher slug. My god. I kind of like it for no particular reason whatsoever. I wanted to put it in my pocket and bring it home. But it started spitting at me and I couldn't let that slide. And so after gathering all the clog of the underground, I crafted a furnace and let it mold me some ingots for use. After a bit of researching about what clog, I crafted myself some clog tools and armor and felt stronger than ever before. I was truly no longer naked and afraid. During my mining expedition I found a new material I had never seen before. Yttrium, though I just call it ruby. This new material sent excitement down my spine, as this material was even stronger and better than clog. Possibly equivalent of diamond of this place. This opened up even newer opportunities. As I finished mining I started making my way out of the cave. That's when I spotted a bat and his friend that killed me before. Though I was not sure whether I was strong enough to enact revenge, I made sure to kill his bat friend to make him lonely forever. Also probably saved everyone from another coronavirus outbreak. I realized I had another problem. My inventory was getting filled too quickly and that had to change. After looking around I learned that I could make a backpack. And for that I needed to kill some residents of this place and strip their skin for leather to use. While exploring I also came across actual iron ore, though it only gave me few nuggets. As I continued my journey I finally came across some fat froggies that dropped the leather I needed. Though one of them gave me AIDS after it died. Just give it a second. I finally managed to craft a backpack and solve the inventory problem. Now my next goal was to get full-on ruby gear so I can finally get my revenge against that goblin-looking thing. Crafting a dope as boomerang I went into newer caves to find the red good stuff, as well as any other ore I could find. So basically in hoarding adventure. So I did, gathering as much of the red stuff as I could, so I could finally craft my epic red ruby axe to protect me. But I decided to save the rest as I got distracted by other things. I also learned that the boomerang is kind of ass. Also, it looked like someone was having fun above me. Wanting to have no part in the fun, I got out of there as fast as I could. After getting out of the SUS hole, I crafted myself an ruby helmet and chest plate. But in that process I was all out of ruby. After crafting some of the good stuff, I went on to a journey. An expedition through the ancient sea. In the free time I had sailing, I managed to think the next course of action for us. 1. Craft full ruby armor. 2. Find a place to make my base. 3. Start digging upwards. By the end of my mining session I was literally richest man in the undergarden. During my quest to find a base location I found something very interesting that would help me later on. 2 pieces of walking rock. After a bit of research I found out I could craft something interesting with their corpses. And bed, aka a new respawn point. And so I did what must be done. After some cave killings and cave divings, I crafted some pants and went to the sea. That's when I found something peculiar. A structure that seemed like a catacomb. Or something similar with a small opening in the waters. And so I decided to check it out. And see if it's something worth it. The insides of this place was man-made, abandoned, and definitely hostile. The dangers of this place forced me to use my moss to make a bed in a safe zone just in case. And that's when I saw it. A machine that doesn't belong. As soon as I saw it, my spine felt chills. An unstoppable machine that could break through every barrier. Either I stopped it permanently or it would kill me permanently. Monster took half of my health. But luckily, thanks to the battle axe, I managed to tear the machine apart. The deeper I went, the rot spawn population kept on increasing. They were swarming like bugs and I was their pest control. As interested as I was about the machines, they were simply too dangerous and couldn't be contained. As such, I destroyed every last one. And soon the chills down my spine, which were originally fear, was replaced by excitement. As I realized an even stronger metal specifically made to be powerful in the undergarden was discovered. Though I couldn't use them outside of the undergarden, they were still very powerful. There was a lot of loot available in the catacombs, including a new material that freezes targets hit called frost steel. And also an army of coronavirus hazards in the hallways. Luckily I found them and put them out of their misery. after looting the catacombs dry, I decided to get out of the wrecked dungeon and continue my journey to find a place to build my base. I soon realized the surface above the catacombs was unnaturally flat. Knowing the rarity of finding such topography, I decided this would be the place where I set up my place of operations. For my starter base, I didn't want something as simple as a dirt house. I wanted something grand. Something that blended in. Yet something that seemed alien, just like this place. And my reference were the epic Mayan temples. And so I began experimenting and placing block by block for hours. And it was all worth it. I made myself a small armored pyramid-type base with all materials I could find. Decorated the interior and made the whole place comfy. Created an storage place and nicely organized my resources into ore, building, gear, and organic. It wasn't the best build, but definitely an okay starter base. I also researched the undergarden mod and realized there was still one last boss left to fight. But this boss does not spawn naturally. So I decided to make it spawn using cheats. But to beat that boss I needed way better gear. The best way to get it? Digging upwards, of course. So it was finally time to go higher. God knows what lies above, but all we can do is dig, hoping for the best. And so I started digging up, trying to find what hellish fate lies above. But I was soon distracted by the fact that normal surface ore get even common the more you dig to the surface. So my journey to the above soon turned into a resource collection session. By the end of my mining session, I was literally richest man in the undergarden. I also crafted some more weapons, as some of my weapons had additional bonuses in the undergarden, which would not apply above, making them weak. As I got closer to the surface, an obsidian layer blocked the roof. Slowly but eventually I broke through hard layer, showing the reddish rock that lied above us. We were close. Closer than ever. As I mined through the grotesque blocks, I knew freedom was one layer closer. And I did it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to hell.